Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to explain my background in how I became very Machiavellian in my approach to understand people and how to manipulate people. In order to manipulate people, you have to first understand how people work. Okay, and being manipulative can have a negative connotation, which is that it could be used in malicious ways. But in the end, all it comes down to is just like how to have power. And with power comes like responsibility, correct? And to understand and be able to manipulate people, it can be used for good, to help people. And it can be, then I'm now teaching you these things. For example, in my videos when it comes to women, how to understand and in a sense manipulate women in a good way, in a beneficial way. That's going to add to a better quality of life for her and you, how to be more attractive. It all comes down to that. It all comes down to being Machiavellian, okay? So this all started in my 20s when, I was a huge nerd in my 20s. What I would do is download on torrents or Pirate Bay tons of PDF books, ebooks on how to negotiate, how to debate. I'm pretty good, really good debater. I could debate anybody on anything. How to be attractive, like the whole pickup artist game. I've read probably 30 books on. No lie. I can read super fast too. I can read a page in less than 10-20 seconds. Okay? Just scanning and understand the whole gist. I don't need to read every and, but, and if or whatever. It's just okay, I can get the general message and understand it, absorb it really quickly and process it. And one of the books I read was from Machiavellian. This is where the word comes from, The Prince. And I really recommend you guys read it. It's a great piece of literature, historic piece. And it shows how a guy was able to essentially work his way up the social ladder of things by in being in the realm of royalty, of the upper class. Okay, so so that's how it comes down to, is how to be Machiavellian, is how to be cunning and manipulative, strategic, in a strategic way. And I would very much describe myself that way, 100%. I'll admit it. And in a way, it can be kind of sociopathic. But I don't consider myself a sociopath because that has a negative connotation, I'm malicious in some way. I'm not. But I know how to work the system. I know I can get any job I apply to. Generally good at working people and getting what I want. Again, how to debate people and how to get women. That's the major thing I'm teaching you. But enough of that. So what does it mean to be Machiavellian? I described it in the sense of being cunning, okay, and strategic in your approach. Now, how does that work in actually manipulating people? First, you got to understand what people's needs are, okay, and what their motivations are. What innately within them makes them do or act or behave the way they do. And marketing is really good at understanding this. That's why they gear their marketing strategies towards what people's needs are and what people desire. So once you understand that, you're able to kind of flip switches within people. Okay? And everybody's different. So first you have to read people first. You have to get an impression of what type of person they are. And this takes time because there's different personalities, okay? Some people are more disagreeable. Some people are more agreeable. Some people are more extroverted, introverted. Some people value some things than others. So and this takes time to be good at this type of thing, okay? But once you're able to do that, to understand that, get an impression of what type of person they actually are, then you can formulate a strategy on how to manipulate them, okay? And again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. For example, in therapy, in counseling, That's what you do through just a basic interview questions, open-ended questions. Get them talking a bit, open them up a bit. You'll understand what type of person they are. And based on what type of person they are, then you can gear your counseling towards helping them in the end, okay? In the attraction pickup game, it has to come down to understanding what women's needs are. And that's something a lot of guys don't understand. So that's what I'm, in a lot of my videos, if you notice, that's what I try to relay to you guys, teach you guys. Because once you understand what those are, what they're looking for, what qualities in men especially they're looking for, things like that, then you're able to adopt that and create strategies yourself and adopt your own behavior yourself to be more attractive. And in doing so, that is a degree of cunningness, using strategies, and you can manipulate conversations to go ways which work in your favor. Okay, things like that. In doing so, you have to, I mentioned in a lot of my videos what it means to understand the process and to be a part of the process, because that's what a strategy is, a process, okay, as opposed to a means to an end, which is just like a goal. A goal is you're at point A and you want to get to point B, so there's a goal involved. A strategy is like there are multiple ways to get to point A and point B, and it's multi-dimensional. There's a lot of variables involved, and it's just like a military campaign. You got to, balance everything in order to lay siege to the situation. Like laying siege, like the resources and to manage your men and to keep morale high and all of this and that. There's so much involved, okay? And in the same sense, when it comes down to launching a campaign of manipulation, that's what it comes down to. You got to keep it has to be very strategic in mind, and some people aren't really built for that, how to do that. There's a reason why sociopaths can be very smart, very cunning people, and they understand people well, okay? There's a reason why. But the difference between somebody who's just straight sociopath and somebody who's a bit, that I'm describing Machiavellian, is the sociopaths lack empathy, okay? They're just very cold. And they're cunning for a means to their own end to get themselves above and to dominate people. And that is malicious, okay? And I can give a metaphor of something that relates to this, okay? Okay, I used to be a hacker about 10 years ago. I used to write my own hacking programs and things, my own interfaces on how I could just, my own interface, I push a button, it would sniff networks, it would find vulnerabilities in different devices and things. I could, gain access to anything, emails, passwords, anything, okay? In networks, and even like over the internet, I could hack people's computers and gain access to their computers and do shit, okay? But I never did that maliciously. That would be that would be a black hat, okay? Meanwhile, the white hats are the ones who are like in network security and who are against the black hat, so they're totally. And then there's the red hats, which technically that's kind of where I was, okay? And that's maybe the more Machiavellian as opposed to black hat, which is just a pure psychopath, okay? So to get to my motivation here in this, again, I was hardcore book nerd for about 5 years before I was in university for psychology, and after. I just was geared to understand people because, to be honest, at that time, I was very isolated. I wanted to know people the best I could, because that was the only way that I could then bridge the gap to be relatable to people, if that makes sense. Like, I was kind of a loner at that time. I was kind of like a hermit in a way. I went, okay, obviously I have something wrong socially. Like, I'm not socially able to, be attractive to women and like be in the group of guys that even though I had some friends and whatever, I wasn't like super social. So I just hit the books to understand people. And in doing so, I read some of the hardest pieces of literature on the subject and understood it very well. So that kind of made me, again, cunningness in this area. And then once I matured and developed into my 30s, the social aspects is no big deal now. I'm a very social guy. In my job, I talk to people all the time, this and that. But I still have all that knowledge there. All right. And that's, in doing so in this channel, when it comes down to specifically, understanding women, I want to teach you guys how to be a bit more Machiavellian, but obviously to help you to make yourself get ahead, because there's nothing wrong with being manipulative to get yourself ahead. For example, women, when they show their breasts and they make themselves look attractive, put on a lot of makeup, you know what I mean, that's manipulative. When they put a filter, not all of them do this, but a filter on their on their dating app and things to make them look a little bit younger and things, that's manipulative. Okay, we can do the same thing, but not to the point where it's like overtly, like to the point where it's so obvious. Like you can do things to make yourself, put yourself ahead of other people a bit, right, and to make yourself stand out a bit. Okay, and that's what it comes down to. So, sorry, this is sun in my eyes. Hopefully it's okay for the video. But, so that's what I want to say about that. I could probably talk about a few more things when it comes down to being Machiavellian in a way. There's the dark triad in psychology, which Machiavellian is a part of that. And it's dark because it's kind of known, it's the manipulative one, but to be honest, it's one that women are actually attracted to, of all things. So it's the one where the guys are disagreeableness, women are kind of attracted to. A guy who can say no, that's not necessarily a bad thing, although being disagreeable can be a bad thing. Machiavellian, I already went over that. And a bit sociopathic. I don't know. Women are drawn to that. I think the reason why is because back in the day, in an evolutionary basis, those were the guys that had a better chance of surviving, because they understood their environment, and they were able to adapt. And it is that adaptation that is literally the definition of evolution. Because when your environment changes, you have to change. If you're not able to change, then you die. Your species dies. And every species that's now extinct, they weren't able to adapt to their environment, changing climate, changing ecosystems, and whatever else. Okay? And in the same sense, like humans are kind of the capstone, if you want to say, of nature, because we have the intelligence, and part of that intelligence is the cunningness, it's the strategy. That's why we're able to control nature. That's why we're able to farm things, domesticate animals, and we are the capstone. Part of being the capstone of within the human civilization is being the ones who are most cunning. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. Be that top 5%, and you'll stand out, and you'll attract women. But this is kind of a deeper concept, and I'm just scratching the surface here. I'd love to, maybe I'll make a part 2 on this one. I think I should. But I'm just trying to introduce you to the topic here, and I really would love to hear your guys' perspective and point of view on this topic. Okay? So thanks for watching, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace.